me.
Oh.
And she was like, alright, you don't got nothing to do on the weekend, so you come in with me. And she took me to the Barbados Youth Development Council because she would volunteer with them.
Who's your sister?
Her name is Roshanna.
Okay.
And so after she took me there, it kind of just went from there. So it was in BYDC, they sent me to something with another organization. The organization said, okay, we're keeping you. They sent me to Youth Parliament. Youth Parliament kind of took off when I became Prime Minister. I resigned from Youth Parliament.
When who became Prime Minister?
You became Prime Minister?
Prime Minister.
Are you resigned?
Yeah.
I talk about big one. Resigned from Prime Minister. Resigned from Prime Minister. Supposed to got bigger NTI for that one.
Yo.
You know, normally take the credit, don't say name, but it's got bigger. No, that's being real. Bigger NTI for that one. No, what did you resign as Prime Minister? Don't normally hear that. They hold this in the
Never heard it before.
They hold this in the indication of what coming.
I definitely not. But really and truly, I felt at the point in time that that I made a choice that it wasn't the space that I needed to be in to do what I wanted to do.
You didn't feel like a politician?
And so you can't get me in trouble at all today.
Nah, I mean no, but everybody, every career for everybody. I mean, I'm not a DJ.
Yeah.
People just call me DJ because they work on radio, but you don't play music ever. I'm not a DJ, as a musician. Every career for everybody. So that was the honest question.
Not.
So you didn't feel like a politician then?
I didn't say anything for the politics, but like the space, you know, things very much at the point in time.
It's not working for you. Right.
And so I opted out. And I feel that way about anything. If I can't do the things that I feel strongly about, then it is not the space for you to be in. That's for anybody.
You know, I just can say so. I just can tell you that's for anybody. You know, even though that you know I saw you the president of the youth council.
Well, my tenure is rapidly coming to an end. Hopefully by the end, by International Youth Day, August the 12th. I've been president for 2 terms. That's 6 years. So at this point in time, and at the age I am, not only am I exhausted because COVID happened, but also it is time to allow for somebody else, another young person, to have the opportunity to really take it forward. You gotta know at some point in time that you need to give space for younger people, for newer people, for fresh breath to come into organizations and spaces.
Nice. Now, for those out there who don't know about the Youth Development Council, is it a regional thing? Is it a local thing only?
So no, the Barbados Youth Development Council, and it's the National Youth Council, so it's the representative body for all the youth organizations on island. And so what the organization does is that it represents both locally, regionally, and internationally. And it's recognized as that. So we participate in things such as forums. If there are consultations, we usually participate. We engage young people in different activities over the last couple of weeks, but mostly we do deal with youth organizations. So things like funding, capacity building, making sure that they're able to access certain resources, really and truly intervening. But as one of the major reasons as well that it's time for us to move on, this is the executive, because there's an entire team that works very hard in the background, is that volunteerism is a great thing for young people. It absolutely is. But when you get to a certain age, going to meetings at 10 o'clock when you have a job doesn't fly anymore, and so that makes it a bit difficult. And so in order for the council to really and truly represent, there has to be persons that come in that have more time, because it's been 6 years. So the level of time I had when I was 22 has changed in the last couple of years to where I am now.
Thanks for telling us. I didn't want to ask.
I was just hoping that nobody would do it. I was like, shoot, so I actually said it.
I know it was a slip. but don't worry, you're extremely young. If I tell you that if you was 20 and you don't want to say the age, you're extremely young compared to.
And she's accomplished so much as well, Sluggy.
Yeah, the accomplishments is crazy. No. What are some of the things you would like to see more? For me, I would like to see the youth council. I would like to see that showcase more on all platforms. I want like that. It's just the crime and the shootings and the killings and stabbings that we really feel good showing. I mean, that goes for me too, like I see it. So you don't just call out the media, it's call out myself. That goes for all of you. And as you will know, you was president, you said for 2 terms.
Yeah.
You will know that. like you all will get far less coverage from us in the media than somebody that gets shoot or does about shooting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because for me, what we's doing in the media, if a man shoot somebody, we showcase it. So we's like, you know, yeah, this is what to do. This is what you get some coverage. This is what you look good. This is what you get respect on the street. This is what the girls just want it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's being honest. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I had a
Because
friend.
that what the media is doing. Don't let me saying it, but I work in the media, so I call them my stuff today is what we love in the media. We love to big up the man that's do the crime. So like for you,
Is it big enough so here, or is it just reported?
or so if or this, so I did that question because most media people ask me that question, right? NTI, especially persons in media ask me that. So this is what I'm asking one in the media.
Mm-hmm.
If the youth council doing good, and I'm sure you are not people in radio doing no name about the youth council.
It is very true.
I
I'm
could,
learning right now.
no, right. So I could bet my life on that, but I could bet you know the hot spots where the crime is happening.
Very
You know
true.
the bad boy blocks. I could bet you know that, right? So
Mm-hmm. They're reported every second.
good, and you don't get admit that on air if it ain't true.
Yeah, it's
Me
true.
know you from working you for so much years, you don't just admitting that.
Mm-hmm.
So know that we can all admit that we do it. I ain't blaming the body, I saying sluggy. We just do it. Right. What are some of the ways you think we can combat that? Besides, we can't just stop showing it. Because God show it.
It's
So
new
make
still.
people,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, Scott?
Mhm.
It's news still. So what are some of the ways we can combat that? We could create that balance, man. Because they want to see things like we're doing equal.
I think in the same way that we give platforms to persons who are sometimes not the most positive influence,
Yeah.
then we have to give the same platform to youth organizations and young people who are doing amazing work.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no shortage of young people who are working in their communities and doing work. There's no shortage of youth organizations.
And if you look at the media, you
doing
would not
great
believe that that's true.
And that's it. And so I had a friend that used to work in media, and things that he would say is if it bleeds, it leads. And so that's something that we've raised before. And I can honestly say that there are media houses that give us coverage and who show up to our events.
Mhm.
CBC has been a great partner. Several partners. Let me just say several partners have,
Yes,
have
use that
really
word,
been, yeah,
several.
several partners. So we've had several persons give us platforms, and I think that's important.
Mhm.
I also think that there has to be a way to get a lot more, I want to say, personalities and public personalities, because a lot of youth leaders don't relate,
Mhm.
and I'm accused of not being relatable because I might not necessarily, I don't always speak dialect. There's something I just don't do,
Mhm.
and there's certain places I might not feel comfortable being, and so being able to have persons who, like yourself, Sluggy, Scott, the same thing, you know, show up and support, endorse, follow, share, that kind of stuff. People who are influencers, then to amplify the kind of work that is being done
Mm-hmm.
is important as well. And to be honest, sometimes I don't have time with social media or other things if I'm doing something particular and it's a tricky situation as somebody who is delivering assistance to youth to people or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to make sure that their humanity remains intact, their
Yeah.
dignity is intact, and so for me to come and say, yeah, I do this, I don't always like it. So there are things that I will share that I am doing. So like this, or if I'm speaking somewhere.
Yeah.
But if I give in stuff or I am doing a program,
Mhm.
I don't always like to share. I don't want to show the faces of the persons, all those different
I
things.
mean, if you're giving,
Like, so for example, if you're giving out hampers
Mhm.
or we're
Oh.
running like a program where
No, I
persons are
agree.
receiving clothing and stuff,
I don't show
you
I
don't want to share.
don't show that ever. That actually stopped me from getting like certain sponsorship and thing. I remember a time I was getting assistance from fast food places.
Mhm.
I could even say like chef. You know what I mean? Like was giving me, it was even giving me money. Like I had over 187 children, and they was just giving me 50 $10 vouchers,
Mhm.
but wanted me to show where the children get the food.
Mhm.
This biggest fast food company in Bentley. There's like no racist and a pastor and a preacher and a Christian nutter.
Mhm.
He's a man off the street. Just like he
That's
started to do good on my own now. So like I doing that and they give me 50 $10 vouchers for 150 children, but wanted me to showcase the children getting the chicken and thing.
And that's ridiculous.
Not
That's
a good look at all,
undignified.
I would
Like,
Scott here would tell you no, Scott, and they seen this on air and Randy don't let me say things like this. I would die first.
Mhm.
And I mean that with everything in me. I would end my own life before you do anything like that. Because I was one of them children. And there was never a time where somebody give me saying and showcase they went with you. I like that boy, showcase him getting food.
It's the complete
They
opposite.
don't even let me let these like go ahead, sorry.
No, no, that's fine. I was just gonna say, there are ways to showcase that you are doing
Speak to it. I love
positive.
that. I love that.
Entities can demonstrate that they are doing positive and share. And let me be honest, sometimes entities want to give you the bare minimum and they expect the world of promotion
more
is
stuff than
ridiculous.
that.
You're doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You're raking in millions, billions per year. And all you can offer to sometimes your budget for charity and corporate social responsibility in a way when you claim that you are engaging young people is very small. Youth organizations screen and struggle in Barbados.
You came out of
As
that?
much as people say that they want us to be active. And I'm very
stop
open
doing
about
crime.
this. And stop
They
doing
want
crime.
wanted to be active and stop doing
And you
crime.
want me
but
to
eat the bare
engage young
minimum.
people. So you
Go
want to
ahead.
come out on Saturdays. You want me to ask them to come out. You
Yeah,
want me to do
yeah.
all these different things. And we got begged for it. I got begged.
Yeah.
I don't do that. And that in itself is a challenge as well because of how much hard work it is just to volunteer and just to move things here. And so there are ways for you to showcase that you are contributing to spaces and that you are giving to the vulnerable and that you are doing your corporate social responsibility without taking dignity from people who are vulnerable. And as somebody who grew up in a low income household, my mother's a housekeeper, my dad is a mason, and I have 2 siblings. And it was never a lot of stuff in your house, and there are people who gave us things, but you will never know. I am more to talk about people who gave me things than they are to talk about it. And what that told me is that they respected my privacy and me as a person enough to not share with persons that they were assisting me and I needed it. And so people sometimes look at you and say, oh, you speak well, so you got money, or you do this, so you're middle class, and that kind of stuff. And it's like, like that's not it. It really and truly just is that there were people who spent their time without being active and without asking for flashlights or the spotlight, or any of those things, who just offered and who still, up to this age, there are people who are there in the background supporting me 100% without anybody else knowing, and I appreciate that. And so that's also the thing I say about choice with the NGOs, because what I'm trying to do at this point in time in my life is pay it forward. So everybody that I encounter, I want to pay it forward to them.
Nice.
Listen, well said, well spoken, and I hope this may what I hope that. Cause you see from here we mention things like 10 years of experience in certain things and all that, and he's only 20 years old. So obviously that would mean starting from maybe 18 or before.
Yeah, like 16, 17.
So it's certainly a young person like yourself would have got vast amount of experience in a certain area. And what you are saying, you can't really argue with the points you are making, but I feel sometimes it is that we still yourself man too young. You know what I mean? So with the young people saying Scott, hold weight, yeah, but ain't gonna hold that much weight. If not a young person like herself, will mention things like the corporate world might help very little or don't help at all. And then she mentioned youth organizations who really struggle. You know what I mean? But still we could hear every single pastor or preacher in Barbados, every politician, every person that pretended they're good and got some moral fiber and ethics was saying what they want the young people to do and what you should do. But
And
then
what they're doing for
and
the
what
young
they're
people
doing.
too.
But then every time we hear young people come up on here,
It's a different story.
they say things like that, so that always be seen that these people be lying.
No, you didn't, son.
No, it be like being serious, and it's like Roshanna was like that's doing it a 2 year.
She's
She's over 10 years. You know what I mean? So that like that's a huge sample size, B.
One of the things I think people always have, I think a lot of people have good intentions.
You know, the big question is usually what is in it for me? That's what companies are gonna ask. When I put this X amount of money over there, what is in it for
Because
me?
I want my customers, I want to be able to see it impact my bottom line a lot of times.
That's true, Scott.
It's a selfish reasoning,
No,
but
no,
it's
but
real life.
right, but what we can ask her, no, I like that question, Scott, because they get asked that already too on this journey of being up talking about what we can ask her that will help a person like me because you don't know the answer, right? We just ignore or don't ask. How would you answer someone like that? If when they ask, like you come to Scott and I for some funds, and Scott and I say, well, we got 200,000 budget, we can give you 50,000 out of it, you know, and then we ask you, so what is this for me? You know, besides we making money, we might not be able to make money from it. But then we asking you the hard question on what's in this for us. How would you answer that? I know I will answer it, but ain't for me, who's a young person, because there's tons of benefits to helping the youth. You know what I mean? Like tons. It's a silly question is asked, but Scott, they always ask it. So how would you answer Scott and I?
So usually if we go to a company or a corporation or something, there's usually a proposal with research, how this affects like your company or business, why is this important, what are the statistics with young people, what does the UN say, what does the government say, how does this align with things like your values and your mission as a business. Because what you should really do is research every company that you're approaching as a partner, just to make sure that you are able to align. So you might send out 50 proposals.
Right.
Each proposal is something different because you're trying to appeal to a different person.
So there's a mass thing.
It's a lot of stress, but and it's a lot of work, but it works. The other thing is that if I approach an individual to do something and they ask me what's in it for them, I automatically mentally roll my head. My eyes.
My eyes.
My head might.
I tell you, look at that boy, real estate. I tell you, snap this.
My head might go back too. But it depends. If we're talking about like trying to address things like crime, you keep talking about crime and you keep talking about how you want young people to be more productive. Because the people tell you about young people is that a lot of people say after his time and time again, people are lazy and idle, and that's when it's getting involved in crime and those kind of things. So if you reach out to somebody, you want them not to do crime. This is how they don't do it. Because what you are now doing is providing them with an avenue to do something else. If you are giving a great time to a young person to how to write a CV, it means that they can now write a CV that might get them a job. If you are giving a great time to teach a young person how to make soap or do makeup or DJ, it means that a young person is now has an avenue to make money. They have a skill. So I want to say the likelihood of them getting involved in crime or some deviant activity has reduced. That's not to say that you could save everybody, that's idealistic, but it is to say that if we alter the position of each one, reach one, it would do a lot more. And that's really the case. But also if you have a case where you have a company in Barbados, this is anybody who has a company that's actually listening this evening. If you have a company in Barbados and Barbados is rife with crime, y'all claim young people lawless, we're not doing enough, all these different things that are negative, and we're not talking enough about the positive, but you want to focus on the negative, then support the positive. If you are so pissed off and it annoys you that the place is so negative, then support us when we want to do things that uplift young people and really empower us to do more. And that has to be the case. But I don't know that there's any. The question frustrates me because I really think
you just answered it so perfectly.
That's
what's in it for you.
But from experience, that is how I would usually answer a question.
Perfect answer to me.
To me, and summaries all that, like the crime and the fallout will affect online.
It's true.
If it's a business saying community, you come from an island, people they say we got 300,000 people, but ain't true, we just got 280,000. You know what I mean? We just wrong up to the nearest number and make it 300. You know what I mean? But we got less than 300,000 people, so it's incredibly small. So anything happen whether it's social unrest, you know what I mean? Whether it's fallout from support for small businesses, whatever you could think of, whether it's crime, whatever you could think of, it will affect any company. You know what I mean? Because we are so small, so it's be important to the company behind any day. The safer the country is,
the better.
Yeah, and the more productive the youth are. It's really developmental when it comes to moving a nation forward. When it comes to transformation, the more developed we are as a nation, but the more developed the youth are. Because you all who take over Roshanna, you know what I mean? Like there's one of the world's called. Like
we just
want to give me who gonna take over. So
what
should we give one the way? Should want to inherit saying that one ain't got say it.
But it's not only that, because Scott said you know the future leaders, but also we live right now. You know, we pay the same taxes,
right now,
through the same community. Like right now, some of us are leading right now. You know, we could look across and see the young people who are doing outstanding things that are leading in their space. And so there has to be this recognition that when you go to learn to drive, you don't put you in driver's seat, you know. Nobody doesn't like to passenger seat. By the time you get in the instructor's car, he places you in the driver's seat and you turn on the ignition and he guides you. But if you have a case where you are so scared of relinquishing power, and I think that's a big part of it, that you hold on to it so much that you don't allow for us to properly learn and experience how to lead and how to do things and how to steer, you know? How are we going to know what is supposed to happen? How are we going to deal with things when you are no longer here? And so one of the challenges that we have is that we say somehow when you turn a certain age, magically you are an adult.
Yeah.
You know how to do everything.
You can be a leader now.
Nobody teaches you, and so automatically, yeah, you can lead. There are no instructions, and so we're trying to figure out why some people are floundering and not doing well, and some people need more support or they get burnt out, mental health shock, they don't want to be engaged anymore, and it's because we leave young people to sink or swim, and a lot of us are sinking and trying very hard to swim. And I think that's one of the challenges. And if we're not careful, we're gonna have a big problem because a lot of young people need a lot more support than we're actually offering and showing to them.
Whoa. Sluggy.
Scott, you know,
Today was different.
they don't say, you know, you remember they mention it.
I feel like we say that very often, but
Yeah.
today was different.
They say a couple things. I had a couple of guests. Not saying all of our guests was phenomenal, but you know, at least like 3
Yeah.
that really.
I think we're mind blowing for that.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and like you highlight some things that we need to clean up, but you also highlight solutions that way.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Yeah, that we love about our conversation today. You don't just come out to a person and say what they say going on, that they going on. No, you're saying that here are some of the ways that we can help fix it. Here are some of the solutions, which is what we need, Roshanna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need solutions quite easy to find a problem.
Very, very.
Absolutely. I also think this one as well is that a lot of times we keep looking for people to save us as young people,
Yeah.
and we keep waiting for somebody to come and cure out of the ills that we have, and we'll sit down and we'll wait and we'll complain on social media and those different things. And we have to show up for ourselves. Like, you gotta show up. If you're not showing up for yourself, what makes you think that businesses are going to show up for you? Or I'll give you an example. An NGO writes for funding. We receive funding. We are supposed to put on a program. No, we have already done the work and found out this program is what you are asking for. So it says Saturday morning at 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, my team is going to be here with these people, show up. There are some times that you will promote as much as you can. Like, you're gonna do the post, you're gonna do the everything. And then you don't get the support. And so you've asked for this. I've given you what you've asked for.
Nobody showed
You
up.
haven't shown up. You're upset on social media. I go into a meeting and say, all right, this is what young people saying. Come out. No, they say, okay, so we can do this for you. You don't show up. And so you don't speak up. And if you're not showing up and showing out for yourself, then nobody's going to do it for you. And so because I'm on with NTI today and the star, I think it's all important to say that we gotta do the work for ourselves as well. NTI, I'm gonna say, well, definitely the Barbados Workers Union, because obviously I'm the training and education coordinator there. Like, we offer courses for you to develop yourself.
How is that load for you though, as training and development?
It's been good.
Nice.
It's been good because there's so many opportunities for me to learn as well as to share with other people. And I get to learn not only from persons older than I am, but persons my age and younger. And so just being able to continuously get the opportunity to learn and grow as a young person, but also as a young professional, has been a really important part of just my development. And I acknowledge that I never know enough. So I keep learning and trying to understand what's happening, and that's been really good.
And you find not only helping you, but you find it helping the union as well. You find it helping the union, the training and development.
Well, it helps the members for sure, because you have persons who are signing up and they're coming to courses that focus on things that are relevant to the 21st century and relevant to the job market.
Yes.
And so that has been that helps them a lot, because they're now able to take what they learn in these courses with professionals and to then go and use that in the workplace or use it to develop themselves in other areas.
I love it. I heard this and I heard everything you here saying today, and I got things that coming that I really hope that when the public get to know about these things that are coming, that persons like yourself and unions like yours and different organizations will really get involved. I heard in Parliament rather, and I heard in the Chilean and Southern people talking about the different programs that come into the communities and so on. I can't wait for it to launch, because every community will be affected, you know what I mean, going to every community and work with the persons in every single community, which is way love, especially the young persons, like yourself, and especially listening to young person working with their projects or their programs or their needs or their interests, which is really love. So we can't wait for it to launch, because a lot of things you are saying, it come in, but I think partnerships is needed. What you hearing from you, Roshanna, and what you hearing from her, Scott, is that a lot of that partnerships is certainly needed. You know what I mean? Instead of you talking to or talking at,
Right.
partnerships is needed. Like Scott, I know you're doing something, you need to partner with young persons like yourself to see how we can make it better and to bridge the gap too. Because as much as hip as we might feel we are, and as young as we might feel we love, you know, there's still some form of communication, and there's still a breakage and a bridge that need to be built between your generation, the one that live after you, and any person like myself, you know, who old as the hill. They think need to bridge that gap, and partnerships are needed. You know what I mean? Because like you said something earlier, they are young. Like when they mentioned you're all going to inherit, but you further corrected Scotland and you said, you know, we got young people that are leading now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You could bigger people like Tahir, you know, working with the NTI, you know what I mean, who doing such great work, but in a leadership position, and that's extremely young. And I didn't even study that, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that you put that in the atmosphere that no, we ain't only inheriting the island in the future, they got some that leading right now, and that's extremely important. They got bigger the NTI, nti.org.bb, identifying social entrepreneurship opportunities, and this course is absolutely free, only 24 hours, from Copenhagen Business School, beginner level, top review. Very interesting and enlightening beginning for someone like me who has the passion but lacks a basic foundation in the social sciences. You know what I mean? That's important. If you are a creative thinker who has a passion for solving community-based problems, social entrepreneurship is a path you may want to consider exploring. You all heard that? A social entrepreneur creates positive changes in society through their ideas and initiatives. This course will introduce you to the different perspective on social entrepreneurship, and you will learn about complementary and opportunistic assets. Listen to me, even until you got things like this, and courses like this, that absolutely free. Scott.
I definitely got to sign up. I'm going to
You haven't seen this
I
yet?
signed up for that course, so definitely.
Oh, you don't
Not this evening.
only after Scott and I blaze it, she gets signed up. Scott, you got it there? You got it there? I want you to read it before we end. I want your nice, sweet radio voice. Take your time, man. Take your time and put it. You know it's got a big you. Use me, dog.
All right.
Go on.
So this week's featured course on the nti.org.bb
Yes.
is identifying social entrepreneurship opportunities. If you're a creative thinker who has a passion for solving community-based problems, social entrepreneurship is a path you may want to consider exploring. A social entrepreneur creates positive changes in society through their ideas and initiatives. This course will introduce you to different perspectives on social entrepreneurship, and you will learn about complementary and opportunistic assets, which will help you to recognize an opportunity and develop an idea of how to create a business for social change. It is being offered at beginner level from the Copenhagen Business School, as Sluggy said. Only 24 hours to complete, which is not too long at all. So sign up.
Kid, you know what I mean? Roshanna Trim. Listen to me, tell you this no one here for everybody. Can't speak to your wants. We can't have a conversation with your wants at all. Scott, we got more time? Talk to me. I just feel it. I just feel it. Listen, we can have one conversation with you for sure, so we gotta have you back for sure. Lots more time. That's one in the early. You are a young man that people need to see and hear. I heard Minister Lee mention something that I heard Adrian Greenwade from long ago as well in the conversation with myself. Like, and I say this all the time, especially from this station where I have so much popular people that's passed through. I say this all the time, we need to take positive people and make them popular. Instead of trying to stop taking these popular people and making them positive, that in the singing about guns, the singing about killing, the singing about degrading things about women, and we taking them, putting them on radio and putting them on TV. And trying to make them positive people. That time we know when they outside with we, they're gonna be singing about guns. You know what I mean? It's not gonna work. We need to take positive people, especially young people like yourself, and make them popular. We got the platforms to do it, so I'm taking no excuse. Turn me up in the earphones. NTI.org. What? NTI.org.
BB.
Wanna hear who just played in the background? I let this right down.
This is KML. Take over.
Came out, bro, some crop over.
Real event.
The old dogs back up. Mali, that's my boy, we born in the same
dog
man.
big too too.
Mali, big itself, but it's NTI.
.org.
Yeah.
.bb.
.bb. And don't forget, last week's price is not today's price.
Hey, keep it locked. There you had it.
Start the rock.
Midweek mindset.
Number one, bang.
They give themselves lucky.
Yeah.
Join the NTI family on Thursday, May 25th
That's
at
out
6 p.m. for a monthly conversation.
That's what. We ain't going here. They can't hear me.
And our many free
Boy, you can't
courses just for you.
Boy, they can't talk to one now.
Donna. Somebody wants to know if y'all have skill-based courses, like electrical installation. I don't think so, no.
No. Hold on.
You will regret it.
They got trade administrative,
Ministry of Youth.
they got skills-based courses.
Yes, that's true. Right now.
They got already.
The person gone?
It was like,